Hello everybody, welcome to tonight's stream. We are in for a treat tonight because we got a new toy from Creality to play with tonight. So we're going to be unboxing and taking a first look at that. And I've got a ton of painting I'm behind on. So might do some of that. Might talk about some of the prints I've done this week. Kind of see what all's going on out there. So hopefully everybody's having a good day. This is one of the things I talked about last week that was to help move the channel forward and what we're learning and what we're teaching about 3D printing. This is one of two things that arrived this week. The other one is, if you saw the short yesterday, the Frozen Mega 8K arrived. And that thing is massive. It's downstairs in my studio right now. And I wanted to take a look at doing that tonight, but it's not going to fit here. So I have to do some work down in the studio so that we can unbox it down there. So keep an eye out next week for that printer. So... hey, two-a-days, welcome to the stream. So, keep an eye out next week as we unbox that big, massive beast of a printer. But this week, we've got a simple, easy box that we can get into that is going to let us do some pretty cool stuff, I think, in regard to letting us actually start creating 3D prints from stuff I have around here. Now, I have a ton of model kits, just old, all stuff from like 1990s on. Actually, I think I have some that are from the 1980s. With really cool parts and stuff that could be really cool 3D models. Take bits and pieces from each one and do kit bashing. Easily generate the parts and create scaling. And one of the first steps to that from just trying to create the part from scratch is scan it and then create the model off of the scan. So that's where this 3D scanner comes into play, is creating those bits to let me do that work. So let's start digging in the box because, you know, that's where the fun really is, right? So set that over there because I don't want to lose anything as we go through this. So, and of course, the most important thing, we've got the instruction book, which doesn't look too thick. There is a USB in here and standard cable. Now, my one question is this user interface. Will it work with Mac? If not, that's gonna be a problem. So we may wind up just getting this out of the box tonight and putting it together. But if there's not a Mac compatible version, we probably won't be able to play with this up here. So this will have to go down to the studio and go from there. So all in all, it looks pretty straightforward. So let's start. Let's see what else is in the box here. Let's go for the bubble wrap. Hi, John. How's it going? So the bubble wrap has the all-important stand. That's actually a really nice design. So we've got the tripod. More foam. Foam is good. Foam is always good. Let's see here. This would be the turntable. It's got a USB cable. But looks like I still need some batteries, which I don't have at my desk, so we probably are not going to get to run this thing tonight. But that makes me wonder what's the... that has to have a connection into something else. So All right. More foam. The big boy itself. More foam. And here is the tracking table. So basically, this will help the scanner do its job. John, we may not be actually getting to use this tonight, but we are going to get it unboxed, and there is going to be a video of this coming either way. But that is the table that it has to use. Then let's get the scanner itself out. Get this big box out of the way. And just want to say a big thank you to Creality for this so that we can start moving forward in our 3D adventure. So, box and the scanner itself. Now, this scanner retail runs for about $650. Just heads up. So definitely don't want to go dropping, breaking, or doing anything stupid here. But it's interesting how the camera is inset in there. And then we've got the other sensor as well. Curious what that connector is. But just for safety, we are going to get it on its tripod. And set that guy aside for a moment. Now, the computer I have up here is a Mac Studio, so if the USB drive doesn't have the connectors, or if we don't have the software, we're not going to be able to go very far with this tonight. But I did want to kind of unbox it and kind of play with it. And as I said, keep tuned next week. Definitely join us for stream because we have the Frozen Mega 8K to unbox. So definitely a lot of fun stuff here has arrived. And I'm still waiting on 3 other printers. So we've got the Prusa MK3 Plus, but I don't expect that to ship for another month. Because usually when an order is placed with them, it takes 3 or 4 weeks before the order even ships. There's a lead time. So that is definitely in the timetable, which is fine because we've got the Mega 8K. And I am waiting on my M3 Max to show up from Anycubic. And then we've also got the Ender 3 S1 Pro on the way. So we've got printers on the way, new hardware. This is the one that arrived that I could work with this week. Alright, so these are just the other country plugs. We don't need those, so we'll set those to the side. That is a tripod screw for something. Power cord. Now this is really interesting. The connectors back here. This looks like a standard USB 3, but this one is very different. It's almost like it's a fiber connection. So the cable is also quite unique. So I'm wondering if this is actually the power cable, is what this really is. Because looking at this, and how this spreads off, this goes off to the power. So I do not have the Jupiter on order, and they have not talked about sending me the Jupiter. Actually, I haven't even looked at the specs on the Jupiter. Let's see here. Alright, so it's a 6. Oh. Now, are you talking about the 12? So the Jupiter, it's running about 1300. It's 12.8 build plate, similar to the M3. I'll have to keep this one on mind, but that one's not out yet. It's still a pre-order. So that one's not even available to me yet. Doesn't look like it'll be shipping until late May, early June. And that'll be from the overseas warehouse, so I wouldn't even expect to really see that till July at the earliest if I can get my hands on one. So, but it looks very comparable to the Frozen Mega 8K. I'm looking at it right here. It's a 12.8 and it's a 6K printer. Now, the Frozen Mega is an 8K printer, so it is a higher resolution than even that. But the price difference there. The Frozen Mega just went from $1,800. They increased the price to $2,800. So that printer is definitely getting out of reach, back to where 3D printing is very expensive again, especially in the resin realm, which is kind of sad. But the quality that this printer is supposed to have, it is supposed to be so... It's basically industrial. It's supposed to be really easy to use, really steadfast, and work hard. Where like this Illigu, Jupiter, and even the M3 Max, those are meant for home users. They're not something that would be production. And from what I'm hearing with the M3 Max, the auto refill system is just being a real pain, which the Photon Mono X was painful. That's why I like the Saturn S specifically. Not the Saturn is good, but the Saturn S is better. I like the Saturn S because, granted, it's only a 9-inch build plate, but it's also almost only a third of this price for this 12.8 6K printer, because it's only a 4K. But I'm curious about it. I like the design. I like that it is a door on the front and not a cover I'm having to lift off. Lifting off the covers gets annoying. That's one thing I love about the Frozen Mega, is it is 2 doors that open up and I can go get my print. But also the build plate is different. It's not a solid plate. There's actually holes in the build plate to let it flex and breathe, which is also kind of a good thing. And it may be just the one I pulled up on the... Because I'm actually on... Actually, here. I'm actually on the Illigu site taking a look. Oh, it's not going to do that because I've got something else up. Let's hop over and actually take a look at this. Boop. And let me switch my scene. And into darkness. Oh no. Because that is the wrong one. There we go. There's what we're looking for. So, thanks, WannaFast. Yeah, I'm really excited to get to using this thing. So this is what I was looking at when I looked up the Jupiter. What came up was the 6K, which the price tag is not bad for a 6K. I keep seeing 6Ks. Because I find it hard to believe that I see some verses, but everything I'm seeing for the Jupiter is showing me a 6K. So, the Frozen is an 8K, but the 6K would go against the Max, definitely. So definitely kind of one of those things. It looks like an awesome printer. It's got a good design. I don't know if the single door is a great thing, but just from what I'm seeing of the design here, is it does look very clean, which is one thing I like about Illigu printers. Not a book per tell. I don't really know of a good book in regard to 3D printing. A lot of 3D printing is trial and error, but also going out and checking out videos. Resin is something I'm very much trying to push more into the channel. And actually, that's one of the things. June will be kind of a bigger shift to the resin realm. As one, I'm getting more resin printers available to me, especially with this frozen. One of the things that I like to do, and I'm going to pull this up, is I'm moving. I don't know if this is going to work. You can see I'm working with Kira here. And the program's crashed, of course. Whenever I do this, it kind of bums out. I've been working with Shinto Box Basic, and I've figured out my settings for most of my printers and different things like that. This is one project I was working on. It's just an arm for a soldier. I'm still refining my Saturn S's settings, and that one of the things you got to keep in mind when you're working with this is what resin are you using, what brand. They're all going to have different tolerances, which mean different times. And I swear this program's probably already locked up on me, but you can see my build plate expanded. Shinto Box is where I do most of my work. I think I did this Sunday, jump to Shinto Box Pro, and I'm still doing some configs in there of my stuff. Because, yeah. And you can see my settings, I'm still toying around in here, trying to get my settings just perfect. Now with this, my favorite resin, I have two resins I love to use. I love Eson's standard resin and their tough resin. They work really well. Eson does back the channel. They have links to their stuff down there. Their resin is very fair cost. The other resin for like the Saturn, my Voxlab Proxima, my Creality Halo 1, my LRD 002, I use the Ilugu standard resin. Works great in all those printers. The Photon Mono X. This is my problem child, and it is a real problem child. Because the settings that are given with the machine, even given through when you put in your basic version of Shinto Box, when you grab that machine, actually, I'll show you, because this drives me nuts. Because I still have it from the video that I did the other day. This is the settings they give you. And thanks for subscribing, John. I appreciate that. Because one of the things, we want this channel to grow and be able to do more. So I do appreciate the sub. One of the things, they give you these settings. And I will tell you right now, even with Anycubic standard basic resin, these settings are garbage. Garbage. Fail after fail after fail. Drove me nuts to try to get this printer to work. And what I had to do was a ton of Reddit, a ton of just surfing the internet and finding out other people having the same problems I was having, which drove me insane. Because we put this printer out with these problems. And here are the settings that I am currently using with my Anycubic Photon Mono X. And it's working great. I have very few fails with these settings. And you guys can see I have other printers in here. Actually, let's see. Let's start playing. Let's just play. Uh-oh. There she is. Let's add my new printer. Oh boy. That's a lot of settings I'm going to have to dig through. Now, as you do this stuff, Shinto Box is great because it's kind of a balanced platform. I think Ilugu, this is kind of their standard base platform. Anycubic, they have their own proprietary software that's hot garbage. Then you have Creality, which they have broken their printers off. I can't even use the Halo 1 in here, which is infuriating that I cannot use the Halo 1 in here. So the newer Creality printers are not available in Shinto Box. They've gone off and broken them off. You have to use the Halet software, which actually stay tuned for this whole fun thing this Friday, because I do a comparison between the Halet 1 and the VoxLab Proxima. I'm going to be talking about those two printers this Friday. And you guys will find out the winner of that set. Now, these are both 6-inch printers. They're not big printers. They're great beginner printers. Both printers are good, but you're going to run into problems with actually both of them. So, and I talk about my journey with both printers, and I tell you which one I favor. Kind of like I did, you saw with the Saturn S and the Photon Mono X video. So, stay tuned for that one. That one is coming out this Friday. And then next Friday is a Halo ring. Then I'm going on vacation. So Tuesday, I think it's the 16th or 17th. There will not be a stream because I'm out. I'm on a beach. It's my first vacation in a year, and I am looking forward to it. So, because from what I understand, hooray, we don't have to have a mask on an airplane now. So I'm kind of excited about that. But let's hop back over to, let's take a little bit deeper look at the scanner. So you can do it in handheld mode. You can also do it on the tripod like I have now. But this thing is beautiful. And we're gonna have some fun because I've got a lot of models. Whether they're model kits or they're, well, I mean, we have fun stuff like Master Chief here. Controller holder I've been painting on. That we can scan and create a whole new render and start really kind of playing with. So this is going to give basically the growth to the channel to start creating our own stuff. And I'll be honest with you guys, I am going to be dependent on you guys to help me drive which way we're going to create these models. So you guys will get input on what we're creating and how we're creating it, and what platform, what software do you guys, here's a good question, what software do you guys want to learn 3D modeling in? Now, because I'm looking with the of course we'll be doing scanning and rendering through the Creality software. Want to fast, that'll probably be a video here in a couple weeks. If not, if I've got something done that I've scanned, we may see it next week. But next week, I really kind of want to focus on the frozen printer and getting it out of the box and doing the initial setup with you guys live. So, if I can get my office remodeled, my remodel done down there, and get the new camera set up, we will definitely be doing that live next week. So we've got a lot of cool stuff coming. Stuff has arrived, but I'm right in the middle of putting my new desk in down there. So things are kind of a mess at the moment. Then up here, I installed a new computer and kind of have gotten everything set up this week so I could do this stream. So I'm running on my new Mac Studio. Hopefully things are flowing a little better. Hopefully the volume is better. I had a few people tell me that this microphone is just quiet. So I did a bunch of setting changes to try to make things better. I've got it closer to me. So hopefully that's better. Yeah, so we're going to do some where we're just, I'm going to start working with Fusion 360 is where I kind of want to go, but we're going to do some work in Mesh Mixer, but we'll scan. We'll try to make it into a complete model, do some rendering within Fusion 360 if need be to clean it up, or even simpler place like Tinkercad, and then we will move it on to actually creating something. John, thanks for the sub. I appreciate it. So we're going to start digging into this year. We're going to start digging in this year of actually creating our own stuff. Last year was a lot of working on printers, problem solving with printers. And we're going to actually start working on moving towards how do we even just take something from here or even a kid's drawing and take it to a 3D print where we make it for them or something cool like that. So we're going to kind of start a new journey in that realm, because that's even going to be a new journey for me. I'm going to stumble. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to do a bunch of research and learn it and bring it to you guys, because I have some things I want to work on. Yeah, the WannaFast, I hope you agree with me that the Mono X is just a finicky little child. So we've got a lot going on, but this thing is, I have high hopes that it's going to be a very big game changer in creating. Free equal better. So I will, actually, I'm curious. So I happen to have my, do we have Mac software? Because that would be pretty cool. I hope this is not like the last Creality drive I got where it was blank. Now, WannaFast, did you get your Mono X for free? I got mine for free, so it's okay. I totally understand if you did. And as I feared, looking at the thumb drive, we don't have Mac software. So this will have to go downstairs on the big Windows PC. And next stream we will get a better look at that one. So that's a bummer that there's no Mac software. But they do have some videos on the drive. Actually, I could just do this. Doop. Doop. So we do have sorry guys, I'm still learning my scenes here as I redid some stuff to add some additional cameras and stuff in. So we do have some training videos. They give an STL for a handle that we can print. The guide, which I may open that here in a minute. The actual software install, and then basic operation MP4. So there's a lot of info in here. And I think this quick guide is the same thing that I have. I did not get that cool Pelican case. I will have to print that handle. But basically the base setup and USB 3. And if I go out to the Creality website, there may be Mac software. That would be pretty cool to do the action figures as they grow. That's actually a really cool idea. Unfortunately, my daughter's already 12 years old. I've missed a lot of time on that one. So there's and keep in mind there are two scan modes with this. There's the hand scan mode and the table scan mode. So that's kind of cool too. And you know, we've got a bunch of models around me that we'll probably try scanning. Like I've got a big 1/1000 size Excelsior class sitting over here. I've got a ton of Warhammer over on the shelf over there. So we'll have a lot of stuff that we can play with and kind of definitely work with here. So it's definitely going to be fun to work with this stuff and kind of learn about it. So definitely going to be worth the dig in, and we will see what we can find and make with this stuff. So yeah, we've got definitely some cool things ahead with the channel and with this cool stuff. But unfortunately, like I said, they made a Windows mode only, but I'm actually kind of impressed with the instructions here. It's very detailed. So that'll be a lot of fun to work on. So we'll get the Windows PC back up here. Now, if you guys kind of saw some of the projects, what's everybody been working on recently? just prints. FDM resin. What have you guys been kind of trying to print? I'm kind of curious. So, I have been a busy bee. Go away, private VPN. We don't want you. And I just finished this beautiful Nebula class. This is hot off the printer. Other than the line here in the saucer section, this came out beautifully. Even the deflector dish has great detail. I'm really happy with the model that I found on this one. It's got the window inlays, so I will have to do some cleanup to bring those more to light. That's going to be basically a soldering iron and me going window by window by window by window by window, kind of burning them back out. But all in all, the detail that was available in this is just fantastic. The lifeboat bays and all that came out really, really well. So expect a video on this one coming. But this has been one of the most recent successful prints, keyword successful, prints that I managed to get to go. So I've got a Galaxy class that's about the same size. So I'm looking forward to having these together, especially once I do some smooth out with this line that came in the saucer. I basically measured that line too to kind of look at my z-axis to see if there's something that actually caused that, or it could have been just a drag that occurred, or that could be, actually, I think that's when I changed my filament, because I ran out of filament mid-process on this guy. But all in all, it came out really well. A little bit of smoothing, and this guy is going to be a really, really nice, yeah, the deflector came out really, really nice. There's not going to be a ton of work that I have to do to actually seal and smooth this to start painting it, which I'm really happy with. And this variant, I was able to, I printed one before. This is the only bad spot, but this is where the support was, and I don't have it fully clean. I had a lot of really bad stringing in around the warp nacelles and stuff here. I don't know why that's all of a sudden getting all dark in there. Let's shine some light on this situation, shall we? Where it was getting really stringy and just looked bad in here. I had to do rework my retraction and get this one cleaned up. So expect a video. We'll do a full walkthrough on this one. I'm even going to take this one back into resin for my 9-inch because I've stopped buying. I used to be a huge fan of the Eagle Moss ships. I have a fairly decent small collection, probably about 20 of them. But this ship would cost you about 30 bucks. This ship in filament will cost you $7 or $8 worth of filament. I think this was 600 grams, so about 10, but we'll call it 10 bucks of filament to print this ship. Gee, which one's a better investment? And now I get to paint this one the way I want to and dress it the way I want to. The only issue is, like I said, there's kind of a raised line, but nothing my little sander can't deal with. But Eagle Moss, do not get me wrong, I love the company. If you want something painted, you want it done nicely, and you don't want to have to do it yourself, they're great. But let's be honest, even their 9-inch collection holds nothing on this. This guy is, I mean, that's 32 centimeters, I think, is what this is. Yeah. So, I mean, that's already a foot on its own. So, Federation Nebula class, keep an eye out for the video on this one. Gonna have some real cool info on it. A really great model. I want to get out there because there's a lot of models of this out there, and a lot of them are garbage. Like this piece here is not manifolded and won't print. It's missing the lifeboat bays and a lot of that detail. It has a phaser strip and that's it. And the saucer. So this one is a really great model. Actually, shoot, why not? I bet I still have it pulled up because I was starting to work on the video for it. Let me pull that. Here it is. So yeah, so even the 9-inch ships at Eagle Moss, I mean, those are about $75 a pop. That's one piece. That's one print, John. On my CR10, I printed that one piece, no parts. This was one solid print. Printed just like that on the build plate. Straight up. So I just put the link to the model in the description. All credit to Outcast RC for making the model. But it is a fantastic one. And honestly, you can take this into resin, give it a try on your Saturn S, John. I'm probably going to put it on my Saturn S this weekend because I got to get my Saturn S emptied out so I can basically get it ready for the week that I'm going to be gone. So, but this one for a Nebula class model, it is really awesome. So definitely go check it out. I'll do a full video, walk it through Kira, probably walk it through Shinto Box too. I'm thinking about adding that into my videos for both fields so everybody can make it. So definitely a very, very well detailed model here. And actually, I think for my print on my CR10, I blew it up 300%. I still have the Kira session open. So I blew it up 300% for my build, for that print. So that is 300% of the standard model size. I mean, that's my hand. So this thing is huge. So, and the CR10 has a 12 by 350 by 350 by 400 build plate. And I used it to maximum potential. So let's quit. So I mean, I used it to that maximum potential to do that build. So, and that is the Thingiverse page. So this model has been out here for about 5 years. Definitely kind of cool. Once I kind of clean it up a little bit, I do look forward to painting this, but here you're getting even size comparison to my head here. I mean, this thing is massive. The CR10 V2 is where I do a lot of my helmets. Yeah, I'm thinking about expanding it because a lot more people are coming to me asking about resin. I love FDM. I can do beautiful things with FDM. Resin, I can do even more beautiful things. And now that the resin printers, in all honesty, that, John, depends on the model. Some models will stretch just fine. It depends on how well the model's made, to be honest with you, if you'll lose resolution or not. More times, I mean, if you're going up like 100 to 150%, you're probably fine. But if you're jumping like 1 to 1,000%, you're probably going to lose some resolution on that one. So it's all just kind of a judge, and that's where the preview option in Kira and Shinto Box is not so good about it, but that's what Kira is great about, is I can pop over to the preview and I'm going to see how this is going to print layer by layer. And I know a lot of people are out there that have the filament printers, and a lot of us get impatient. I mean, this took almost 5 days to print. And 5 days is a long time to have your resin printer busy, or your filament printer. If your resin printer is doing 5 days, what are you printing? Because that's huge. So, but what's nice about Kira is I can go in and look at it layer by layer. I can do this in Shinto Box too, and see how it's going to build. Yeah, the Sequest that you had me print was that was a booger. And I'll kick back over to Shinto Box here too, and I'll go ahead and slice this arm. So this is an arm of one of the Death Troopers of Krieg, and over here on the right you can actually see how the light's going to work, how it's going to go layer by layer, and show how the light's going to show on it. So you have some really good resolution information in that available over in Shinto Box as well after you slice it. So the previews are there for everything. Oh. Yeah, we 2-A Builds had me print a Sequest, the Sequest model. It was never here on my channel. It was printed and sent to 2-A Builds. 2-A, did you do a... I think you did an unboxing, but I don't think you've done anything more with it, have you? Because I think you had originally planned it to be a video. But yeah, it's a big submarine. Is what Sequest was. But I know I sent it to you, and I didn't do anything. I don't even think I planned on doing anything with it on my channel. Even though I have all the time lapses, I kind of bank some of that stuff for, I've been sick. I just have to do these 2 pieces and I've got a video. But definitely Resinland is going to be coming into this a bit more as we keep going. No, you didn't miss it on my side. So 2-A Builds, he runs his own YouTube channel, does some really cool painting and stuff. I printed and sent the models to him. So, but again, 2-Days, did you post a video on those, or was it just the unboxing of what I sent you? I can't remember if you actually did a full video of it. I know you painted it, but... So yeah, keep an eye on 2-A Builds for the painting in that one. But I blew that model. I actually shrunk that model down to fit in the... I think I used the Photon Mono X for that one. Because I was trying to do it with filament, and the rudders would just... so they were so thin. So kind of one of those things. It's a really awesome model. I'm still trying to finish up the Saratoga from Space Above and Beyond downstairs. I've been dragging on that one because I'm having to use some plastic card to fix a few things that the model has problems with. So we've definitely got some fun stuff going on. And like I said too, with what's just going on here, I've been working on a set of controller holders, getting them into paint. There's a video out there on the channel of how I print this, the links to the models and everything, and I've been working on the paint to get this guy wrapped up. And you can see I've got a second one who is a bit further behind in the paint, so working on those. Babylon 5 still needs some love. I did finish sanding and primer it. And I've been having some fun for our D&D fans. A TARDIS dice tower. So that one's coming along nicely. You can see I got a couple over there. Trying to fill a request. So lots of fun stuff going on. So hopefully you guys are having a lot of fun with printing too. It's kind of one of those things too. I can't go too long on the stream tonight, unfortunately. I've got about another 11 minutes. So let's throw it out there. Yeah, the Saratoga. I want to fast catch me next week, because the Saratoga, I blew that model up. It's now about that. The original one I printed was about that big. Yeah, she's about that big now. So go ahead and post a link to it, if it'll let you. If not, send it to me in Facebook and I'll post it. Because it'll let me post links. So I may have that filter on. I'm not sure. So we'll see how angry Streamlabs gets. Actually, I should have you in my... Huh. Why do you not come up with your channel name? I know you're here. Because I'm subscribed to you. And I can't do that right now. So, because I'm not subscribed on... Oh no, here it is. Here we go. There's the link over to 2-day builds. 2 days builds _ models. So there's the link to his channel. Go give him a good follow. He does some really cool stuff. A lot of Gundam stuff like that over there. So definitely give him a follow too, because some of my prints wind up on his table. So, but yeah, it's kind of one of those things. I'm going to wrap up. Actually, I should wrap up with Babylon 5, because we've done everything but the solar sails on stream, and I need to get those attached. So, and how am I going to attach them? How else? 3D printing pen. My favorite tool. I'm going to get that heating up. And I'm going to grab Babylon 5. So I've got everything printed, but I don't have the solar sails attached. And if you guys caught stream last week, I broke the solar sails. Well, I have since fixed them. Since I broke them. I finished cleaning them. And now we've got to get it attached. And the way I'm going to attach these is with basically its own material. I'm going to use the 3D printing pen, but I'm also going to use a little bit of super glue. And we're going to get this attached on here. We're going to get some clean lines and basically get this looking the way it should. So we'll do this for the last few minutes. And again, thank you guys, everybody that came out tonight. Great conversation tonight. I really do appreciate that. It makes these streams go really well. So you all are very appreciated. If you're new here, hit that sub button. Make sure you join us. We do this every Tuesday, whether it's talking about printers, talking about equipment, or honestly, what we're doing right now of getting a model assembled or painted. So, still got to heat up about 30 more degrees here. So in this, if you guys are into 3D printing, especially with FDM, the Scribe 3D printing pen is a wonderful tool to have in your arsenal. You guys see me use it quite a bit. I actually need to grab a pair of side cutters out of the drawer here. You guys see me use this thing all the time. It's a wonderful tool. They run about $50 to $60, but it just makes life easy. So we're going to get this settled up. The reason why I needed this was this is not even. I need to make it even. There we go. All right. So basically, right there is what we got to do. And the wonderful part about the 3D printing pen is we're using its own heat and its own material to create a weld and make this one nice supported piece. May not look the best when you're done, but that's part of the game. Now's the fun of it is we just got to let it cool down. Hey, Douglas. Welcome back. So right now that filament that I just heated up and pushed out is at 180 degrees. That stuff is hot. And while it's still hot, I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup. Sometimes this goes on real easy. Sometimes it does not. It just depends on how fast it dries. And I'm just trying to keep the pen from going to sleep because it likes to do that. The reason why I like doing this is strength. I find that this actually holds stronger than using epoxy or glue or anything of that type. So, and as it cools down, this is going to turn very, very solid. All right, so get that straight. So let the new line there cool down. Come in and do a little bit of cleanup while it does. Alright, so that's going to cool down. I'm actually going to take this paintbrush and put it underneath here to kind of hold that up while that cools. So when that's done, cooling down, my top set heaviness here is getting the best of me, so we'll kind of brace that in. So when that's done and that cools off, that will be one solid weld. I'll do a little bit more work around it, smooth it out. You can hear my pen going into standby mode and cooling off, noisily as can be. So once that's done, then this will be a solid piece, and it'll just be like the other one you guys saw in the video. So this pen is really nice for FDM models. I've never tried it with a resin, but resin isn't really that heat dependent, so it's not going to work that well. I've got some resin models I need to do some work on. I was working on, basically it's a version of Neo. I need to glue him together, do some filling in around the sunglasses and a little bit of smoothing. So definitely have some fun there and get his two little machine guns in his hand. So, but I really kind of want to start working on painting Boba, but I'm just not going to have time tonight, unfortunately, to get him painted up, and nor will I have time to work on the Mandalorian because I have to keep tonight short. So, and we're right at that time, guys, where I'm going to have to start saying goodbye. Next week, definitely catch. We're going to be unboxing the big Frozen Mega 8K. So we're going to be getting that out of the box, and we'll be doing that streaming down from the studios downstairs. Because, well, there's no way that printer is going to fit in this space, and I don't want to tear up my desk. So hopefully, actually, Doug, you hopped in. Any word on the job? I know that was kind of a big thing with you. You were supposed to hear back by the end of last week. So hopefully, here's hoping you heard some good news. And actually, this probably has cooled. Yeah, it is cooled enough. So you guys can see that that is actually holding itself in place on its own. So really nice how the 3D printing pen can easily adhere something. A little bit of cleanup and a little bit of rounding off, and we are definitely in good shape there. So awesome stuff. So awesome stuff. So again, thank you guys for joining the stream. And you didn't hear anything. Sometimes that happens with employers, so don't get completely down. Sometimes they take longer than what they planned. So keep your hopes up, man. Hopefully you've had other things come up in interview. Drip Drop's great that you're having some good prints with PETG. I appreciate, guys, that you said that it's fun in here. So that really does make me feel good. I'm gonna finish up this Babylon 5 because I have plans for it to leave my desk. So I appreciate everybody for showing up. Drip Drops, I'm glad the PETG is working for you. Hopefully some of my settings helped get you on the road to being successful with it. I still hate it, but that's just me. Doug, here's hoping for you, man. Hopefully you find something soon and get going forward with what you're doing in your life. So, and again, I appreciate everybody for showing up. You guys have become good friends, especially you guys that are in here every night. I do appreciate it. So, don't worry, two days. I'm old too. I probably would have been laying down by now. On most days I am, let's be honest. All right, guys. Well, have a great night. We'll see you next Tuesday for that big printer, because let me tell you, that printer is half my height. The box is 3 foot tall, and I can barely move it. So we are going to have a fun time next Tuesday. And stick around this Friday for the comparison, my duel between the VoxLab Proxima and the Creality Halet 1. So see which printer wins on Friday when we put that video out. And I look forward to talking to you guys next week.